What's going on? This is Dylan Butterbaugh from Manoa Chocolate, and today we are going to break down what nibs are. And nibs, obviously, they start from the cacao seed that we've covered so many times. And right away, we're going to just take a quick analysis of this. For our bags of nibs that we sell, we always use the same origin. We always use Costa Esmeraldas. I love the flavor profile of them, and they're so consistent. It's also, if we're going to go all the way to the ag side, it's one clone or one varietal of cacao called Neo Nacional, which is originating from Ecuador. It's kind of like the pride and joy of Ecuador. And the consistency is just amazing. And you can see that when in every bag of cacao that we buy from these guys. But you got this reddish color, really nice reddish hue. So that tells me a lot of how clean they were when they were doing the post-harvest handling process of fermenting and drying. And then what we did is we roasted it. And what we do when we roast it is, for this origin, we want to bring out some of the more chocolatey flavors. So we're roasting kind of a medium roast for what Manoa Chocolate would do. And so what that means is somewhere around 250 degrees Fahrenheit for somewhere around 30 minutes. That works really well in our roaster. And after you roast it, you can see the color difference. The red is gone, it's more grayish. It also starts to taste a lot more like chocolate for the first time. To me, the raw cacao doesn't taste very much like chocolate. It's way more seedy. Once you roast it, the true chocolate flavors start expressing themselves. And so now, once you roast it, you also lost a lot of moisture. So if this is, say, 6% moisture, now this is 1% moisture. So we lost 5% of moisture escaping the seed. And while that's happening, it becomes very easy after to remove the shell, to separate this husk. It's just this thin, fibrous husk. And that's actually what I'm drinking right here. And so as long as the shells, the cacao husks, are from really well processed on the post-harvest handling side on the farm, as long as that's all really clean, the shells have a lot of potential to taste really nice. It smells just like chocolate. It tastes a lot more like a barley tea. We always mix it with honey. I think it's great. I really like it. And we actually sell all of our shells in this way. But it has to be from super high quality cacao, and it tends to be tastier if the cacao isn't so acidic. So those are my tips on the tea there. But the goal of this process, after you roast it, you end up with the roasted cacao. Now we have to do the process called winnowing. And winnowing is the separation of the husk from the nib. This happens in other agricultural processes as well, including coffee, wheats, grains, rice. All these things have their chaff or their husk removed in some winnowing process. In most cases, it's vibrations and meshes separating size, as well as airflow, either vacuums or blowers. And so now we've winnowed the cacao, and what we have is the nibs here and the shells here. Great. These are nibs. Super healthy. They're just loaded in antioxidants, iron, magnesium, calcium. Nibs, whatever a superfood is, nibs are a superfood. In fact, chocolate is a superfood until we add sugar. Whatever that word superfood means, I think it's misused a lot, but it's super healthy. It's like any nut or seed. It's super good for us until we're going to add sugar later. And now a little bit of sugar, not so bad. A lot of sugar, not good. This is the healthiest form of chocolate, and most people who know what nibs are don't really put together that this is chocolate. This, like, I'm crunching this up right now, my teeth just made chocolate. It's that simple. Now we have chocolate terms for it. The industrial chocolate world would call it cocoa liquor, cocoa paste, cocoa mass, chocolate liquor, whatever you want to call it. Crushed up nibs is 100% chocolate. And so that's what nibs are. You could buy a bag of nibs from your health food store, go home and throw it in a blender or smash it up with a rock, and you just made chocolate. So this is what's so healthy for you. And you can Google the health benefits of nibs. But if you see nibs in your health food store, it's worth trying if you haven't before. It's super good on granola, cereal, yogurt, smoothies, salads. You can put it in pasta sauce. So don't think of it as just something that needs to go with something sweet, like chocolate. You get the taste for them over time. They're not sweet. We're so used to chocolate being sweet. It's not sweet at all. very healthy for you. In fact, things that tend to be bitter are super good for you. The purple color that's often in the raw seed is a characteristic of antioxidants. Things that tend to be really purple or blues have a lot of antioxidants. Chocolate's just loaded in it. So another little side note on this is if you see your health food store, it says raw nibs, chances are it's probably not raw, because the way you primarily get nibs is after roasting. So if we're gonna try and winnow raw cacao, you can see squeezing it, it's not easy to take the shell off. Also, it's not, the hygienic side of it is not as good. There's a lot of risk in raw cacao for aflatoxins, mycotoxins, listeria, E. coli, all of that. So roasting is a kill step, and the big industrial chocolate really needs to do this. Craft chocolate is a lot safer. You don't have to worry in the same way. But raw nibs, raw is being used as a sales word. Chances are it's not actually raw. It's just more in its virgin form. So nibs come from roasted cacao that are deshelled. It's that simple. It's a really healthy food. Give it a try. You'll notice that the quality of the seeds that someone would start with make all the difference. So, happy eating of nibs. See you next time.